My dad was cheating on my mom for 2 years, and I learned it 2 minutes ago. My mom and my father have been married for 30 years. They have 2 children, me and my sister, and I just learned that he has been cheating on my mom for 2 years, with his co-worker. My mom and father never had a healthy relationship. They would scream at each other every night and never sleep without fighting. My father is a raging alcoholic, so came home drunk as usual. It was past midnight and he didn't have his keys with him, so my mom had to stay awake despite her being so tired that day, so I stayed awake for her so we could chat while my sister slept. After waiting and waiting and waiting, the doorbell finally rang and it was my father. My mom opened the door for him and had an angry expression on her face, so my father attacked her. I tried too hard to break them apart, but he slapped and punched her, just because she was angry at her husband for being drunk and late every night. My sister got in the middle and held my father while I got my mom to my sister's room and locked the door after my sister came in there as well. We didn't leave the room, so we all slept together in a 5 square meters room, not being able to leave for the bathroom until 10 a.m. I thought that was the end of their relationship, but no, my mom has no income, so raising 2 people with her own money and trying to keep them sane as well would be impossible. Well, this was just the beginning. It all started when my mom gathered me and my sister and told us to leave the house for a little bit, so her and my father could talk in privacy. I have wondered what they were talking about for 3 to 4 months, because shortly after their talk, my father went to go on a business trip. Since the day they talked, my mom was always furious with my father and never talked to her. Also, she never allowed her phone to be looked at by me and my sister. Well, today, she left her phone open in my room and I had to take a look on what my mom and father had been hiding in their messages. I wish I hadn't. I saw various screenshots of my father planning meetups, engaging being just plain horrible to a co-worker of his. I'll call her Alex. Alex has been sleeping with my father for 2 years and she has a husband of her own. They have been spending night in a hotel room and in our house as well. One time she noticed that my father had been calling her from our house and was shocked, as she knew he had a family. That's what made him stop his actions, apparently. Later in the messages I saw him begging my mom not to ruin our family, and especially my mental health, because I have a very important and hard exam I have to attend, the YKS exam in Turkey. I was ill after seeing all that messages. I sent them to my sister and she said we'll talk about what we should do once she gets home. Comment. Well, I can tell you, unequivocally, that your mom needs to get out of that relationships. She didn't ruin anything. I hate when cheaters use that line. Shifting blame on the victim. Reassure your mom that leaving him would not ruin the family, but probably make it much better. That woman who is sleeping with your dad, her husband needs to be told what she's doing. Put both of them on blast. Then tell your mom to stay in the house and pack up all your dad's things and kick him out. Your mom is too old to be dealing with that kind of bullshit from an abusive husband and cheater. Please help your mom. Up. I'm sorry you had to find out about this, with an important test no less. I know your first instinct would be to reproach your dad, but maybe check in with your mom first to see if she's okay, and also, if your dad is prone to rage, make sure you're all in a safe space before confronting him. Wishing your family peace and healing. I was 16 when I found out. Honestly, I didn't care who was at fault. All I wanted was for the fighting to stop. They eventually divorced. My dad ended up giving my mom almost all of the property, I'm pretty sure because he felt guilty, and my mom had pretty much never had a job in her life. He was in a motorcycle accident about 10 years ago. My mom and I were both at his bedside in the hospital when he finally passed 3 days later. I miss him terribly. Life is complicated AF. Next story 2. My GF has cheated on me a bunch in the past and I don't know if I should stay or leave. So I am a mask-presenting woman and I have been dating my GF for 5 years. When I met her in May 2018, her son was just turning 1. First thing I thought was, don't get my feelings too involved with her cause he's still a baby, so there's probably unfinished business between her and the father. But she made it seem to me that she didn't want nothing to do with him in that way anymore. So I end up falling head over heels for her fast. And at first it seemed to be mutual. However, I eventually found out that she still was messing around with her baby dad. She would cheat on me occasionally with him. She even broke up with me for a week to go on a trip to Canada with him back in like 2019. I didn't find this out till a few months after it happened. I thought she just needed space when really she was on vacation. So in February 2020, she broke up with me the night before her nursing school graduation BC. She couldn't see herself not being with a man and she wanted to try for her family to be together for their son. I helped her get through school with studying, helping with her son, and anything else she needed. So we were broken up from February till November 2020 and we got back together. While we were broken up, she moved into an apartment with the baby dad. The whole time we were broken up, she would tell me she made a mistake and wanted to be with me, but somehow it took her 10 months to get him out of the apartment. When we got back together, obviously there was a lot of trust issues on my end BC of everything she put me through. Fast forward to last summer 2022, she ended up losing her job. So she was pretty upset and depressed BC. She really liked where she was working. That kind of pushed us into a rough patch. We would fight a little more often than normal and it just started to feel like she didn't want to be around me. We would break up for a few days and then make up a lot. Eventually I had a talk with her and we talked about how to get back on the right track. It felt like a good conversation and like we actually were gonna do what we needed to do to feel better as a couple. But that was of course too good to be true. Right before Halloween last year, I found out she was sleeping with her baby dad again. I was super hurt and took all my things out of her house. We were all supposed to go trick-or-treating together including the baby dad, so she was just gonna have me be around him knowing she's sleeping with him behind my back. Gross. So she begs for me to come back and about 2 weeks after I found out, we end up back together. Ever since then, I don't think she's messed with him again in that way, but she gets mad at me for not trusting her. I feel like I know the answer, but I don't know if this relationship is even worth trying for anymore. Maybe like 1 or 2 times a month LOL. And we live together. She has even told me she doesn't really like doing anything to me. The last time I found out she was sleeping with the baby dad last year, I asked her why she did it again and she wasn't sure if she wanted to try for her family to be together. Same reasons she basically gave back in 2020. So even though it doesn't seem like she's been doing anything with him behind my back since the last time, I feel like it's basically inevitable that it'll still happen again at some point down the line if we stay together. Recently she told me she wants to be better and really try to make our relationship work, but sometimes I just feel too damaged for it to really work out. I don't trust her every second that she's away from me, even though I don't really think she's doing anything at the moment. For the most part, we haven't really had any big arguments lately. Last argument we had was BC. She planned a trip to Miami and I just feel so uncomfortable with everything she does BC. She's made it so hard to trust her. I know in a healthy relationship I should be able to trust my person on a trip without me, but it's hard to feel that way with her. Even though things haven't been bad lately, I still don't know if I should keep trying to work it out or not. My heart and head are in 2 different places. Hopefully you made it to the end, and if you did, thank you for taking the time to read this. What should I do? I feel so attached, especially to the kid, but at the same time I don't even feel like she fully loves me the way I loved her. Comment. A cheater will always cheat no matter what they say. You know the 3 strikes you are out rule, right? Try and see if she fits into that. No point in literally sacrificing your honor to this person no matter how attached you feel. Your self-worth is more valuable than this person and whatever baggage she has. Stop selling yourself for cheap. Block this person and move on. You don't deserve to be manipulated like this. I'm gonna be brutally honest. You need to stop posting the same thing. Every post for 3 weeks has been the same. You have the same responses on each of them. You want advice. People tell you to run. You post the same thing again. It's actually similar to your relationship. Your GF keeps cheating and promising to change. You take her back. She does it again. Stop doing the same things over again and expecting a different result. Next time you post, I want to hear about how she's your ex and the improvements you're making in life. Stop allowing this woman to suck the life out of you. Wait for what? She's been doing the same shit for 5 years. You wanna hand her a medal for not cheating for a year when she was perfectly happy doing it multiple times for 4 years. How is breaking up cold? Again, she's cheated on you the majority of your relationship. If breaking up with her is cold, she should be okay since she's got a cold heart anyway. Just do it. There's no easy way. She'll probably try and manipulate you to say she's changed, but deep down you know she hasn't. And even if she does, the damage is done. Your trust is irreparable. Also, she's not even attracted to you, or any woman possibly, and her promises to not cheat are never gonna change that. Just rip the band-aid off. She doesn't even need to make excuses for herself because you make them all for her. Stop waiting. There will never be the perfect time. In fact, the best time was years ago. But you can fix that by doing it ASAP. We can't value you more than you value yourself. Your GF is a serial cheater. She won't change. The longer you stay with her, the longer the pain continues. You go about it by either packing your things and leave, if you share your dwelling, or if your name only is on the lease, by kicking her out. No excuses. No one can disrespect you without your permission. You are giving her permission. Also, I suggest therapy. You need to learn how to value yourself, to set boundaries, and how to let people go who don't value and respect you. Until you do that, this will continue to be an issue in future relationships. So she is bi and needs the meat stick from time to time is what it sounds like to me. If you go by what she has been doing in the past, I think it is safe to believe it will happen again, especially since you keep going back to her after she cheats. It's messed up that you are not asked to join in on the fun. I don't know JK, but for real, ultimately you just need to make the decision on whether you stay or go. It doesn't matter what others think you should do, because it's your life, not ours. Good luck. Just walk away from her. She is not worth it on any level, and staying with her will just fuck your head up 20 in dozens of ways. You will find that your life will immeasurably better without her in it. All you have to say is, "Hey, I want to talk to you. I know we have been doing good, and yes, I know you have been trying, but I'm sorry, and I feel this relationship has run its course. Please, I don't want to work it out. I don't want to try. Trust has been broken, and I thought I could get over it or work through this, but I can't. No matter what you say or do, there is really nothing that will make me trust you, and honestly, I can't relax. Anytime I know I will be away for a while, I feel like I can't trust you." You need to be prepared though for her to cry or beg or bargain. You need to be strong and have a talk with your heart and speak logic and make your heart understand that this person doesn't love or respect you, and no matter what, you cannot trust them. Also, if I were you, if that's your place, I'd pack her things and have it ready, or if you are the one leaving, pack up it things and have them ready to go or already in your car. Do not stay or hang around. Once you say what you need to, you leave. Do not talk, do not discuss anything. Say what you have to and go. She will try to pull at your heartstrings, but you need to stay strong and leave for your own mental health. So please just walk away from her and ghost her. No explanations, no chances for her to lie to you more, just a clean and simple block her everywhere and get on with your life.